Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be trying to show off some of the build techniques that I've used in a lot of my builds on No Man's Sky. And for the first one, I will be showing off the glitch where you can be able to build your ship sideways. The way that works is you're going to place your typical building parts you need to make your Corvette work in the first place, such as your hab, your cockpit, reactor, weapons, and such. After you have those placed, you need to finalize the design. Go inside the ship and go into your building mechanics or placing decoration. You need to go to the first tab and grab a refiner unit. Look at where it would normally snap onto a wall. And then you need to toggle your free placement off. So that way, snap is no longer attaching the piece to the actual ship. Once that's toggled, you can look in the center of the ship and you should be able to just place the piece. You can then toggle snap back on, go over to the building station, modify your Corvette, duplicate a hab, and there you go. You're able to have your sideways habs or any ship you want to build. And the next build mechanic that I'm going to be showing off is going to be how to make any piece that you have an offset piece from the rest of the build grid. So you're going to take a Rockhopper propeller unit from the build and you need to go to the left side of the habs. Because on the left side, you can move it up and down multiple different lengths of the hab. On the right side, it doesn't do that as much. You can only lock onto the one single spot. But on the left side, you're able to pivot between different spots it's able to lock onto. Once you do that, you can pick up your hab and you can shift it off the grid by a half of a building block. The next building technique that I'll show off uses the ducting outlet. If you have the ducting outlet, you can take that piece and lock it onto any side of the hab. So if you put it on the side of the hab like so, you can lift it up by a half of a building block, and it's offset currently from the past glitch, but it's still able to be moved up and over by a half a block. Now if you want to get it to be back to the spot with the other hab where it matches up evenly, you're able to do that by taking the ducting outlet and putting it on the end of the hab. And you're able to just shift it down, and now you have your piece offset by a half a block forward and able to have the two habs intersect, like so. Unfortunately, you would not be able to walk through these, but it's very useful for putting designs together with, say, pieces like the Speedbird missiles, where you are able to do something like this kind of, and have it like clip through a piece if you wanted to have some unique looking interior detail that you can't achieve without using a ton of different pieces. The next glitch I will show that I have personally found that I was unable to find anywhere else on YouTube is the flip glitch. That is a mechanic that allows you to take pieces such as these engines that typically aren't able to be attached side by side because the attaching point is in the right side or left side of the engine. Allows you to place it like that. But say you want to have both these engines face to the right with their snap point, and then the engines that would be on the other side face to the left with their snap point. But you do that, oh no, you can't place your engine that would be here because the snap point's already in use. So what you do is you get rid of that, and you get rid of the hab where that one was in the first place. You would snap it like this, but you're gonna try and flip it. You're gonna try and flip the engine as fast as you can, and in the process of flipping it, you're gonna try and place it. But before I do that, I'm going to try and make it so any pieces that are in the vicinity of where it's trying to flip onto for the snap doesn't have any spot it can access. So it's gonna wind up red. So if I'm quick enough, then I can have it flip like that into the next piece. However, I don't want it in that particular spot. I'd much rather prefer it in this spot. So I'm going to do the exact same thing, but on this side. So just flip like that. You're also able to layer the engines inside of one another. So say you wanted to have 3 of these engines in one spot, you can layer them that way by having it so that way these engines will all place simultaneously into just one single engine spot. So now if I were to just delete all of these, there's 1, 2, 3 different engines in that one single spot. Now, say you want to use this sideways building technique where you have your habs aiming sideways instead of on the regular grid. Unfortunately, that makes it so that way you would have to have your cockpit in a different orientation from facing forward when you're flying through space, such as this. Your cockpit would have to be on that side of the ship, aiming that way. You can avoid having to do this by taking a landing gear and combining one of the techniques I showed you earlier, where you're going to take that tab there, and you're going to take a rock hopper propeller, and you're going to shift back one half a length. Once you have that hab shift back, you can then proceed to take a cockpit and attach it to the other hab that's sideways, and now you have a front-facing hab. But if you go inside of the hab, you'll notice the wall is blocked off. You cannot actually access this hab unless you take some glass and you place it there. Then you have full access to the hab on the interior, plus the cockpit on the inside. It also adds this kind of aesthetic, like there's a door blocking it off, almost like an airlock, but fortunately, with the way that these windows work, and like they don't chop off even where the hab is ending, you wind up having a little dome shape. You can use other habs to try and rectify this issue, like you can use the Titan class habs to be able to take the cockpit, and if you use the paneled window on these ones, they're a little more indented like so. So that way when you go inside of this hab, you're in that doorway, it works, but it's kind of opaque and you can't really see through it all that well because there's a visual glitch or something that's going on with No Man's Sky on all the panel windows on all of the habs where they turn out opaque. But when you're inside of here, you're actually able to access this hab. As you can see though, once you're inside, it looks pretty regular. You have a little bit of clipping here from the cockpit, but I kind of think it adds a little bit of an aesthetic to the ship where you've got a reinforced tunnel or something that is going toward your cockpit, and I think it adds to the aesthetic of the ship. Once you're in here, you can obviously walk right up to the cockpit chair and you're able to get inside of your container and be able to fly away. And as you can see, you're able to get out of your seat and you aren't glitched into the wall. If you don't use the glass, you are unable to access your cockpit, and if you try to spawn your ship in without having that glass attached, when you start the game up, you will wind up glitching into the wall and being unable to exit your ship. The only way that I have been able to find is either using a save data editor or going and having a friend of yours kill you while you're in space after taking off. So that way your ship is able to be despawned and you spawn outside of it. These are just some of the methods that I've found that are useful when building. I'm sure there's more, and I will wind up finding more as I play more of the Corvette DLC that we got recently. However, at the moment, for the builds that I have built, these are the most useful I have found. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, as recently I've been getting a lot of support from everybody and I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me, and I'm also trying to branch out from No Man's Sky into more games that I feel like people would enjoy watching, especially now that spooky season is coming out and Halloween is just around the corner. I am hoping to play some horror games, multiplayer and single player alike, maybe some playthroughs of some old games and new games to come. So stay tuned for some of that content. I also stream at least once a week on Twitch at twitch.tv/Rebel Rides Respawn.